Hey Tubies, it's Psychic Bob. Well, look where I am. I'm at Mom's house. That's right. I decided to come down yesterday, and I've been here just spending time with Mom, resting and relaxing. And look, here it is, Wiccan Wednesday. And you know, whenever I travel, we always talk about travel magic. So I thought today for Wiccan Wednesday, I'd show you some really cool travel magic ideas. And then I thought we'd talk about the mystical creation story of the Wicca. So anyways, come on along for the adventure. Now I have to give a big shout out and say thank you to my dear friend, Carol Pettis. Carol Pettis is a member here of Spirit Channel, and she's also a member of the Order of the Purple Cord, our Wiccan order. And Carol was so generous. She gave me some beautiful gifts recently, and I got to show some of this to you today. Carol made me a special travel altar kit. She says, "Psychic Bob, I always see when you travel, you do travel magic." And she said, "You know, you always say it's hard to bring all your ritual stuff with you," which is true. Carol's absolutely right, I say that. And Carol said, "Bob, I'm going to give you a solution to that." So let's take a look at what Carol has put together for me. Now, as you guys know, I never go anywhere without my trusty Louis Vuitton bag. This is my Louis Vuitton. I call him Louis. He's a speedy 35. And Carol said, "Bob, I bet you I could get an entire altar inside your Louis Vuitton bag. And it wouldn't take up, there'd still be room for other stuff." And I said, "Carol, are you for real?" And she said, "Well, I got a surprise coming for you." Well, it arrived, and I got to show you something. Now, this is amazing. I've actually put the whole altar in the bag just to prove to you that Carol was right about this. So I'm going to show you something. We're going to open up my Louis Vuitton bag here. By the way, I'm not being sponsored by Louis Vuitton, but I wouldn't mind it if they want to sponsor me. So I'm going to open my trusty Louis Vuitton bag. It goes all over the world with me. And look what I got inside. I've got this, which I'll open in a minute. And if you look inside, you can see this box. Now look, I've got a lot of room in here. I still got room for my tissues, pens, books. It hasn't even filled my Louis Vuitton bag. And out comes this mystical little case. Now let's take a look at this. As you can see, she's got me this beautiful mystical black box. And it's got a beautiful silver tassel. I think that looks very magical. And we're going to open this up, and I'm going to show you what she created. She has this beautiful box. First of all, it's lined in velvet. Isn't that gorgeous? I don't know if you can see here, but it's lined in soft, plush silk velvet. And then I look inside, I said, "Oh my gosh, what all do we got in here?" Well, let's take a look. Well, first she's put in here, we've got an altar cloth. Now check this out. I've got a full, beautiful triple moon altar cloth here in purple, of course, as Order of the Purple Cord. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? So that fit in our box. And then she gave me a beautiful cord to do cord magic with, or knot magic. So we've got that in our altar. We've also got statues of the Lord and the Lady. Now, you know I love Goddess Isis, so she got me Egyptian-themed statues. There's the Lord, and there's the Lady. I think that's actually Nefertiti, but she was believed to be an incarnation of Isis, so it's Isis also. Isis is all forms. Okay, now, look what else we got in here. She packed me some beautiful candles. I got all the colors here. I've got incense cones. Look at this, guys. Purple. You can see it. Purple incense. Is that great or what? Then we've got, what's this here? Oh, yes. It's a beautiful yellow chiffon bag. And look what we got inside of this. A beautiful black tourmaline crystal. And a beautiful, well, this is a incense cone holder, like a crescent moon with a star. Isn't that amazing? And then she put in, let's see if I can get a beautiful quartz crystal. Is that amazing or what? Then, I mean, this is amazing. I can't believe how she made this. Look, a selenite wand. Now that's some power there. Look at that. Pure shimmering selenite. So we've got that as our wand. A beautiful feather to fan incense and also represent the element of air. Oh, she made, let's see what, oh yes. This, in this little velvet bag, look what she's got. A little altar bell in silver with a little pentacle on it. Isn't that great? And then we've got, I don't want to take these out of the plastic yet because I'll use them a little later. But I've got a little spoon for incense with a crystal on it, or measuring any magical powders. Then I've got a larger wooden spoon if I need to stir and mix stuff or measure out other ingredients or herbs or incense. Then she gave me symbols for the altar, some pentacles, or these could be altar tiles or symbols of the god and goddess, depending on what you're working on. So if I'm doing a goddess-oriented spell, a moon spell, I've got a beautiful, and this is all laminated. The back is made to look like the moon, and then the front here is the goddess symbol. And this is laminated, so it was waterproof. Is that amazing or what? Oh my God, I'm so excited. And then we've got the Lord symbol, the horned Lord, or it could be a green disc if you're working like with earth energies, okay? So depending on what you want to do. Now you could also put those up as your deity images also, or use them as altar tiles. And then, of course, got to have a pentacle. Now look at this, guys. She made this pentacle and it's clear, it's see-through. So I'm going to put my hand behind it. Can you see my finger there in the background moving? You can go through the pentacle. That is really great. I would have never thought of something like that. But she made this as well. So I have my altar pentacle. So we can put that at the middle as well, the altar, and see how it's clear so it reflects the background. Or, for example, if I want to focus on earth energies, I could combine this and put the pentacle on top of that. Is that cool or what? So you see, we got all this. And then she also made me a stick incense holder. So I can have that. All of this, you've got a full altar supplies. And it all traveled in this little box. And that little box fits inside my Louis Vuitton bag. Pretty amazing. And just when I think I've seen it all, there's one more bag that actually this was in the box. I had trouble getting it in, so I took it out. I had to figure out how to repack this, but she did an amazing job. Inside this bag, look what we got. A small traveling silver chalice. And you'll notice it's hard to see here, but it's got the pentacle engraved on both sides. It's got two sides with the pentacle. So, you know how I said when you travel, you can use a paper cup for water for your chalice, which you can. But boy, if you could travel with a silver chalice, wouldn't that be special? And look what Carol made for me. Beautiful silver chalice to go with my traveling altar kit. So as you can see now, I can travel in full Wiccan style with all my regalia. And I still have enough room in my Louis Vuitton bag to pack a robe. By the way, Carol got me a Wiccan robe, but I didn't bring it this weekend with me. But we'll have more on her robe that she gave me soon, too. But if you've watched me on the Witching Hour lately, you'll notice that I've been wearing a new robe, and that's Carol's robe that she gave me. So you see, I have enough, all of this she designed to fit in this little container, and it fits inside my Louis Vuitton bag, and I still have room for ritual robes and books. Pretty amazing. Well, a little later this week, we're going to do some rituals with this new altar stuff, and so definitely keep watching. Today, though, I wanted to go outside. The air's a little gentler and see what's going on in the cosmos. And I thought I would share with you a Wiccan creation story. So come on along. Lately, well, not really lately, but actually for quite a while now, people have been calling me the Mr. Rogers of psychics. They're like, Bob, you're like Mr. Rogers. I actually take that as a great compliment. So I thought, since I'm Mr. Rogers, I might as well do Mr. Rogers things. Like, in his show, he'd always come home and put on his loafers. So I'm putting on my loafers here. And we're ready to go out. Got on my shoes. And, well, I guess we'll have to, put on our sweater here. So got my little cardigan sweater. I'll put that on too. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. A beautiful day in the neighborhood. Will you be mine? Will you be my neighbor? I got on my cardigan. I got on my little scarf now. I think it's probably cold enough. I wanted to put on my jacket. So here's my magical Wiccan jacket. Those of you who've been following me know about this jacket. My mom prepared this for me. And she put these wonderful patches on. It's the pentacle and then the triquetra. Any of you guys watch the TV show Charmed? You know this symbol. It's a symbol of the power of three, the triple goddess. And I got a Necronomicon button. Don't worry, I'm not evil. I just think it's a cool symbol. So there we go. So we'll put on our jacket and we're going to head out and talk about the creation of the universe. I got to stop and check on Mom's little chihuahua, Jake. He had a really rough night. He was sick on his stomach and throwing up all night and having diarrhea. So we've been worried about him. He seems better today. He's resting in his little bed over here. So we'll see how he's doing. Just take a little look in on him. Here he is. He's soundly sleeping. There he goes. I don't want to disturb him. They say let sleeping dogs lie. Well, I'm so glad he's calmed down. He was a mess last night. We were thinking about taking him to urgent care. Anyways, let's go outside and see what's going on at the cosmos. Wow, well, it looks like we've got a really nice day today. The air is gentle, not too cold. Our Sun Lord is high in the sky. Oh, hello. There's our neighbor's dog. Hello, boo-boo. Yes, aren't you beautiful? Yes, I love you. Okay, don't worry, it's just me. But as you can see, our Sun Lord is high in the sky, looking powerful. I thought we'd walk along and just see what there is to see. And we'll sit down and have a little reading here. I've got a reading from this book, Wicca, A Guide for the Solitary. Whenever I see this gazing ball, it reminds me of my father. I gave this to him as a gift a few years ago, and he loved it. He put it out here, and there's a tradition of the mystic gazing ball. And if you look in the image here, it's really interesting because you can see the reflection of me in it. And look at the Sun Lord behind me. Isn't that cool? That'd be kind of a cool picture. I might make a still image of that. I like that. Kind of cool. We got all sort of magic in this yard. I also, many years ago, like 30 years ago, got my dad this owl. That was his guardian of his garden, his big wise owl. The seagrass is dry here now, but soon it'll start to bloom again and turn green. You can see here, it's just beautiful. This is a nature preserve that backs my parents' home. There's good old St. Francis who stands on guard. My father used to love St. Francis. He didn't know who he was till I taught him about St. Francis. He's the patron saint of animals and ecology and gardens. And my father used to come out and put a beer in St. Francis's hand as a gift to him. I always thought that was kind of cool. I know probably some of my traditional Catholics might be shocked at that, but my father was never traditional about anything. Oh, and look who's come to greet me. This is Duke, and this is Bird. They're my brother's dogs. Hello, boo-boos. Aren't you precious? Oh, I love you. Yes. Oh, yes. Yes. Good boys. Oh, they're so sweet. I love you guys. Yes. All religions have a creation story, a creation myth. Wicca's no exception. Probably we're a little different in that there's not just one myth, there are several. So Wiccans are free to kind of choose which creation myth they want to follow. But I like this one from Scott Cunningham's book. This is taken from Wicca, A Guide for the Solitary Practitioner. And this was from his own Book of Shadows. It's called the Standing Stone Book of Shadows. And let me try to open it here. It's hard to do this with one hand. This was a story called Before Time Was. And I thought we'd walk around and read this and talk about it. It says, before time was, there was the One. The One was all, and all was the One. And the vast expanse known as the universe was the One, all wise, all pervading, all powerful, eternally changing. And space moved, the One molded energy into twin forms, equal but opposite, fashioning the goddess and God from the One and of the One. The goddess and God stretched and gave thanks to the One, but darkness surrounded them. They were alone, solitary save for the One. So they formed energy into gases, and gases into suns and planets and moons. They sprinkled the universe with whirling globes, and so all was given shape by the hands of the goddess and God. Light arose, and the sky was illuminated by 1 billion suns. And the goddess and God, satisfied by their works, rejoiced and loved and were one. From their union sprang the seeds of all life and of the human race, so that we might achieve incarnation upon the earth. The goddess chose the moon as her symbol, and the god the sun as his symbol, to remind the inhabitants of earth of their fashioners. All are born, live, die, and are reborn beneath the sun and moon. All things come to pass thereunder, and all occurs with the blessings of the One, as has been the way of existence before time was. That's from Scott Cunningham's book, Wicca, A Guide for the Solitary Practitioner. And so that is one myth of creation. It's one that I happen to really resonate with and really enjoy, and I wanted to share it with you today. When you travel, and I hope that all of you will try to get some time and travel and explore the world, when you get outside your normal routine, it allows you to evaluate your routine. It gives you time to think differently. So like when I travel, I come here to my mom's. It's a different environment. I get out of the hectic rush of the city, and I'm at one with nature and the universe. And so I have time to stop and, for example, contemplate this mighty oak tree here that reaches into the sky. I have time to study the flora and fauna and to discover the cycles of life wherever I am. I can study the Sun Lord and the Moon Goddess, and these things bring much joy to me. So wherever you are today, I hope that you're having a beautiful and blessed day, and I hope that you'll take time to reflect on this creation myth and think about your concepts of the universe and what it means to you. Well, guys, it has certainly been fun to spend some time with you today. And, again, I have to give a big shout out to Carol Pettis, who sent me that beautiful travel altar. I treasure it. I love it, Carol. I want to say thank you, darling. And I want to ask you guys that are watching, have you ever thought about creating a travel altar? Maybe you have one like I have. I'd love to hear about your travel altar experiences. Maybe this is new to you. Tell me about that as well. Tell me about your thoughts about creation. Do you like the creation myth that we shared today? Does this resonate with your soul? Maybe you have a different creation myth. Maybe you want to share that with me as well. Anyways, share your comments, your questions in the box below. I look forward to having dialogue with all of you. Well, I'm going to take some time and just walk in nature and study the sky and the sun this afternoon. And so we'll get this video up to you guys, and I hope when you get it that you're having a blessed day. And I send you my blessings, and may you always blessed be.